Drakehorn Gap or Ravenwood. We are very heavy unit focused army, so wood fighting is no good for us. We are always a disadvantage against most enemy units. So Drakehorn Gap. The Shadow Lord's forces have overrun the northwestern areas of Drakehorn Gap. It is imperative that he be driven back before he can take over the rest of the area. Council insists that your army is best suited to take back the 2 enemy-controlled towers. Okay. Seems straightforward enough. A lot of open spaces. Target 2 towers. Pressure sites. At least 2. 3. On the downside note, we're split into 4 parts and we have to defend each our own city's tower. Seems to be like the easiest way to get there, so I'm also assuming there's a huge ass army waiting for us here. Yeah, I would assume this be fairly brief mission because the area isn't that large and there's roads leading from one place to the other. Unit deployment is gonna be a bit of tricky here though. Because if there's some kind of massive army here and we deploy everything good here, we're gonna be in deep trouble just holding our own. I'll still dump our crappy hero units on these towers and cities. So we have something sitting there. Yeah, there's probably a fight here, and how bad are they? I don't expect a tough fight there. I'm not gonna split up our air force. I'll never do that. We don't have that great of a technological advantage anymore that we can afford it. It's much better to spread around your units that have some kind of anti-air capability than spread around your actual flying units. Sir Calador, go there. General, yeah, go here. Corporal is no good. Start spreading the joy. We need something like 5 guys there at least. This is take the warlords here. Things fairly evenly. I'll put most of our units here. But need to spread things around. Volunteering archer. I think we'll put both archers here. Oh, we have 3 of them. Okay. We could put one here. Here, cavalry. This is the knight. We'll have to split these around. Guess that's it. Steering scanner. Yeah. We'll just have to hope that the main enemy force is actually here. Otherwise, we're gonna be in deep trouble. Let's take a look. Well, it saw some good units, but that's not what we were expecting, and that's a problem. I'm sort of afraid to even cast this here. This might be bad. No, what I think is happening here is basically that he hasn't deployed most of his army yet. He's sort of looking where he needs to place them. Or he's fought them, but he hasn't deployed them. Wait. I think we'll take that town first. The reason being simple is that we can't afford that town to dump a huge army on us. We simply can't afford it, no way. No stay. Seems like he had a lot of these needs sort of waiting for an opportunity to take some of these sites away from us. Oh, that was a stupid thing to do. Not. Maybe we can get the city yet. Yeah. Wonderful. We removed this from the equation immediately, so there won't be an army spawning here. Might be one spawning there though. We want to push this main army the fastest because we are hoping it's going to spawn some armies in front of us. It'll spawn in front of this because this is best equipped to handle any trouble. There won't be proceeding much yet. We'll stay covered by these archers. Yeah. Okay, time to engage. Silverhawks. Ooh, they're fairly dangerous. And they're not even the best magical air unit or Skyhunter. Not even close. I don't even recall how good the Phoenix Hawks actually are. But if the Silver Hawks are an indication, they're gonna be damn good. And we're gonna be in big trouble facing them. Hopefully we can get them to our own volunteer army, that would be great. Ooh, almost lost our own cavalry. Yeah, those cavalry charges are very devastating. Except against some skirmishers. Ooh, heavy spearman broke, that's bad. Luckily it was sort of the end of the turn, so nothing bad happened anymore. Okay, they're actually advancing on us. Which isn't a bad idea, because that heavy infantry is gonna be reached to try to stop. What we'll do is we'll blockade this bridge, but I was sort of hoping to get the enemy there and not go there myself, which is sort of a stupid thing to do, but not thinking clearly. We can certainly hold this position if nothing else. Yeah, these volunteers are pretty worthless. They're losing their fights against siege engines, for God's sakes. Yeah, that town is secured now too. There's nothing going to be coming out of it. You need to die. I hate druids. And that's fairly useless at this point. Okay. We'll attack the archers, I think. Then just hold our position mostly. Okay, that was pretty sad. Ghost Riders are fairly dangerous. We have to rest with this group just to get the morale back. Yeah, this is definitely more of a defensive unit. Archers in general. Yeah, I think we can kill that one, at least potentially. It's vulnerable to mechanical attacks. So it was. Okay, we're disordered. That's bad. Okay. You rest. You harass the enemy cavalry. That's bad. Yeah, we'll move this in order to provide some protection against enemy charges. Yeah, block that. Can you do something useful? Not really, so rest. Okay, now we'll take a look at the Air Force situation. There's probably some air units trying to escape from us. There too. We could get rid of that cavalry with just our air units. And I'm inclined to do just that. Other option would be to let it attack and see what happens, but I'm not a fan of that option. It's a bit too risky. Rest. I still wonder about the fact that we haven't seen the enemy use his healing ability even once. I'm pretty sure he has. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. All the generals so far have been basically mirror image of our existing generals. So why wouldn't this one be? Ooh, Firestorm. we're doing very well against these. Ooh, not so well against that one. Yeah, Sandman caused a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. General simply is no match for them. But on the bright side, we survived, but that was with the help of a volunteering archer providing cover. These guys are pretty much screwed. We'll have to divert forces from somewhere else to have any chance of keeping that. You need to rest. You need to die. Actually, they're not very vulnerable because they're disordered. Good. 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 Can you do anything? You probably can't. Ooh. 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 Stop thinking which one should I kill first. This. There's no way he can gain control of this area, and he can't get any reinforcements, so it doesn't matter if he has that giant there for one more turn. It's not gonna do any much good. We'll go over here. Press. Move. I'm actually inclined to try to solve this situation first. Sort of a more pressing one at this point. What we need to do is basically run. There's no way we can use these units to hold up against that. That just isn't gonna happen, so what we need to do is block their path. Yeah, the only bad thing about Sandman is more of a defensive unit. It doesn't have the force march a lot of these other. I think it's a magical, yeah, so it's the equivalent of the better or even the best magical heavy infantry. Not supposed to counter our mortal infantry unit. That's good enough. I think we have things under control here now. Not exactly great, but there's no real threat of us losing it either. Need to clear this faction. And we have to be a little bit careful about our formations. That's quite a large area he can cast that. Even if it doesn't do a huge amount of damage, it's still a damage to multiple units on a wide area. Over here. I think the main fighting for this map is to be over. It's not totally over, but nothing of real interest seems to be happening. There's no real need to counter that Silver Hawk. Not with flying units at least. Ooh, that's a fairly dangerous attack he has. Okay, this is bad. Valdira is very vulnerable at the moment. So we have to go on the offensive for a while. Okay, that should be good enough. We basically wounded severely all the units that can attack our vulnerable units. Okay, now he's buying a ton of those. What's the situation? Units here. They're not all that experienced. This is the bigger problem. 2 shields. It's not much of a problem. It's an inconvenience at best. So we should be able to push through relatively quick. Hey, we can get that shrine. Yeah, shadow dragons. And nothing, no reward. Just shadow dragons. $100 go. I'll drive a few more times if I could actually get something in remotely useful. Nothing of interest. No. I think we can stop trying now. There clearly are some bad group of Phoenix. Now this is what we want from our own cavalry, because Rage Dead. Unit casting spells is fully healed, including the dead. May not be next to enemy. So basically, instead of resting, you'll cast that, and you are in full strength. And that's it. They have a very good attack, magical one, and armor 30 with what? With 1 shield of experience? Yeah. So that's something like 38. I think it's 2 points per X shield. So massive armor, good attack, well over 30, and you can recover everything, wounds and death, anytime you want. And that's without any magical items and resistant to spells. Yeah. Amazing units. I'll actually keep that. I will be very reluctant to take those volunteering units when we reach further into this continent. But we're still in the sort of the middle portion, so I don't mind taking on new units. Especially when they provide something that I really don't have at the moment. Yeah, let's go reinforce this group. Okay, how are we going to start disarming this? We only have one ready heavy spearman group. I don't think we should start yet. Yeah, sort of clearing out the place in preparation for the next turn. And getting a unit next to there's town. I don't think I can stay there, but still, the Rhino Knights are basically guaranteed to focus on us. And where the heavy infantry is the best to take them on. I'm not gonna go into the river. He's dangerous enough. But he can now attack a few of our more vulnerable units, but if he does that, he does it on the river, which he isn't all that good in. We'll just have to hope it turns out okay. Ah, Fire Wizard. Of course. Needs to die. We are in so tight formation here that I don't want to risk being vulnerable to it. Breath. Okay, let's see if it goes well or not. I'm mainly afraid of the Sandmen. Yeah. Okay, actually that was good. They attacked the skirmishers. Yeah, they're mainly suffering casualties. We are doing fairly well. No big problems. The only negative side about these cavalry units, I think we need to heal our units with the raised death spells before the mission ends, otherwise they get replaced from general stock with using the normal mechanics, and that means you could lower your experience points. But if we use the spell, that can't happen. So there might be some kind of a metagaming on my part because of that. So if I know I can end the mission, I might even load and sort of recover all my dead before doing that. It would make sense if the game automatically casts the spell after the fight, because that's the entire point of that goddamn skill for existing. And it makes logical sense that the unit would naturally heal its dead after the fighting is over. Very hard terrain to move for us to move in. Where do we actually need? Here and here. So only two places really left. Oh, which is fine. These are good units. And they have a lot of room to improve still. Sort of a shame that we don't have access to them yet. We'll move forward. Have to be careful so we don't get move too aggressively with single units. Might bite us in the ass very quick. I'm going to support the other heavy spear. No one should go in alone. That's just too reckless. We can finish that off with anything. Same with that though. Okay, let's get rid of these. There's no chance for them. They're basically trying to fight in a terrain that's very ill suited for them. Okay, things are looking fairly. We'll survive the Silverhawk's attack if he decides to attack. Ooh, Shadow Wings are fairly dangerous. It's mainly that the Valera, the armor is too low. It's something like 6 points at least too low, which is quite a lot, so you can take a huge amount of damage on every fight. We could probably kill that one. Okay, this is now over as far as fighting is concerned. Take the cave, see what we get from there. Your troops come upon several hundred rats crawling over some treasure. As your troops collect the treasure and prepare to leave, a ratman horde charges from within the cave. It was a horde, so we got some money. Not too interesting, but it also seems quite clearly that that's sort of that's the only thing you're ever gonna fight from there. Very hawk. But yeah, we'll start harassing their fire wizards. We need to get rid of it. Okay, there's no defense here, which is fine. And 2 sides remaining. that's going to be taken moment. Can you kill that? Anything left to move? I don't think so, nothing worth mentioning. I will recover a bit and start moving here. I think this will end immediately after we get the last objective. Yeah, Ratmen aren't that dangerous anymore. Unit restore, and that's how it works. The this magical Sky Hunter can do that too. So it's sort of it's the one general I wouldn't hesitate buying Sky Hunter units. Actually, I'll try to get as many as I can. With keeping in mind that Sky Hunters have some natural limitations. They are Sky Hunters, not heavy infantry. But they're the one unit I would actually be very comfortable engaging normal units, not in fortified position. Okay, let's see what we can get from this. I want a single magical item. We haven't gotten anything for a long time. Magical staffs. That's not terrible. We could use it to sort of enforce or improve our skirmishers. But I think it's one of the weaker weapons we could get. Magical sword. That's not a I'll take it. I don't want to spend too much time just because I got a sword instead of the axe. I think the axe provides 1 point more magical damage, so it's better in that sense. But the difference isn't massive enough to justify reloading. At least not for me. Oh, that's another Sky Hunter unit gets a weapon. We'll just move north. Ooh, where did you come from? Any more? Shadow wings are like Okay, this is the end. Yeah, they don't really have any more troops. Yeah, the tower is really the last thing they have. We could... I will attack. Yeah, I don't care about the casualties, not at this point. Yeah, we'll just empty. One of the warlords attacks and conquers. Oh. Need to get another shield here. 41 armor, and you have still a couple of shields left, so that's 45 armor. And you're not resistant to magical damage, so those bastards are going to be very hard to get rid of. I have no idea how I would do it. Maybe just weakening with a few attacks and yeah, basically overwhelming them. On a one-on-one fight, I don't know how I would do it. Okay, we got one magical sword out of this. The remnants of the Shadow Lord's troops flee from the area. Your efforts do not go unrecognized, as the village folk offer you 250 gold for them. Yeah, these are new set of missions. Urel's Wall, I'm interested in doing that. It sounds like a fortification mission. Meaning we're attacking a properly fortified position. Who got the magical sword? I think it was it's magical axe. A magical sword. Yeah, +2, magical axe is +3. So there's a difference, but the main difference we want is to turn that melee into a magical attack. Even with units that have a high magical defense, is still something like 90, so still increased damage for us, even though the benefit isn't that great. I don't like seeing that we could get 4 more units, but we're not basically buying anything. Getting more gold might be an option, just to get the cavalry and sky hunter research done. Then we could just make the decisions what to get and leave it at that. I am interested in buying at least a couple of Phoenix Knights. That'll still leave us with a couple of units we could get more. So a Phoenix Knight could also be replaced with a Thunder Thread, depending on how good that unit actually is. Same with the Seekers, I'm not sure if it's that even is a single unit. Single unit, sort of a, or a group of units. I'm assuming single, because that's what all the others are. Well, anyway. But there's a reason to try to get some money out of these extra treasure sites on these missions. So maybe I shouldn't sort of try to load every time I get money from somewhere. At least not now. Burrell's Wall, Harbinger Valley, Ice Cauldron Mountain. Choices. That's a choice for another time. I think we're now at the halfway point of this continent, so 6 done. Probably similar monthly.